Yeah. That's all right. This way, if he needed to stand up for any reason, he's got a good stand. All right, so we're going to do the same walk positions. Yeah, he's got quite a bit more than that. Yep, there it is. Good. To change that? That's all it needs?
Yeah, I kind of just use that impulsion of like the buttocks.
Yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to determine whether or not it's... See if you can... you can keep your hands apart, but see if you can lower your hands a little bit and see if that helps him decide that this is not so terrible with the bit. He's starting to really get a little fussy with the bit. And it may just be just the position of your hands. Might be taking a different... There we go. Something simple as that sometimes. Yeah, it could be bending the bit. So that makes, it's funny, just with certain adjustments. Yeah, so give him something to distract on, or change his direction. Because he's carried this bit now for long enough to say it's not the bit. Granted, it's a different rider, and he might be saying, well, it's the bit with this rider, but for the most part, I'm going to say he's just decided that he wants to make an issue out of it now. So gently guide him in a walk away teardrop turn. So my teardrop, just find your way right to turn. Yep, unless he's going to be neck rein, we're not going to cross the mane with the other rein. He's he can learn the neck rein at this age, but he still needs to learn all the direct reining. He's still a drunk. He's doing all right, but he's still pretty much a drunken sailor. I think if you wanted to go on a straight line down the middle, you'd have a hard time. Okay, so there he just told us that I'm going to fuss with my face when I want to do something. So the information.
So it seems like when he wants to get at something, he says, haha, here's my face.
Like he said, he told us I want to go to this door and I want to be able to hang out there. So I'm going to take the reins from you. So anytime change directions.
Okay. That's what I was thinking about doing for the next time.
Yep. Change direction. Just like that's how we're going to make him wrong. Yeah, and what make tighter, tight turns. Like you want him to almost think about having to cross his feet. We need to get him thinking about his feet instead about. So I'll give you an example. You're just like, almost pull back. Yeah, well, he can't by himself, but he's going to give the impression to roll back with a forward feel. He starts just pulling back over, turn, make sure that outside rein also, so that when you do pull his head, he can go. Change directions. Yep, I would almost even plan on having Do you know how to gather your reins real quickly? Put them together and draw one down. So this way, that kind of like in the instant that so it's a correction. Say, oh, you want to do that? No, I think you better be thinking about your feet instead. Yep. And just make sure that outside rein is always long enough or loose enough that you can get. Instruction. So we don't need to make any. He's going, so we don't need to make any clucking noises. We're just gonna make on his feet. Not turn the rail as fast. We'll do the turn more tight. And right back up, because we want him to believe the rail is a safe space. Leave him alone as long as he's behaving there. Hoeing is not going to be right now a reward, even though he's got more woe than go. He does not feel comfortable still under saddle.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that if we wanted to really reward him, you can do a couple things. One, you can, allow him to get as much as he can out of just walking on his own. You even allow him to turn him loose where he knows he's been told to be turned loose. Believe it or not, get off and hand with it. To reward him. That helps also. It practices mounting, handling being because he doesn't stand well. Practice, just know habitually. If we only get on him 7 times, that's not fair for him. So if you get on and off, on and off, on and off, then it could be. Hunting block again, or so everything. So even, my horse is 15 years old. You still feel that he's learning. Can't believe he's 15. I know. It seems like yesterday he was just a wee tot. Yeah, I got him when he was 2 months old. Yeah, he was still staying with his mommy. I kept him with his mommy till he was 10 months. Yes. That's why his great granddaddy was a Tennessee Walker at the time. He was only be 14.3. Mommy was 14.3. Daddy was 14.3. Cool. Now, see how ask him to walk. So this way we're going to tell him, you know what? Burn out in your feet, but I want you to walk super slow. Yeah, and then what you'll do, I totally respect that. What you'll do as a challenge to yourself is say, how slow can we walk past this gate and I keep your attention?
Okay.
But that could be 3 days from now. You try that. You know what I mean? So we'll just find things that you can build on. Say, oh, well, that would be a fun challenge. How can I get you to respond to me going really slow past this gate, but you're not thinking about stopping? And it's fun. You responded, so I'm glad that, yep. So good. I'm glad you're listening to the things that he's trying to tell you. That's just going to make kind of working together easier. So it'll be your left rein will just take a hold of him. You're going to sit heavy on your pockets and see how slow you can get him to walk. Make him think you want to stop almost. Sorry, he's fussing right now, just because we're going to turn him loose as soon as he does what we want. So we're trying to set cruise control. Yep, even slower. Let him think he's being even slower, even slower, even slower. And it's a steady contact on that left rein. Yep, there you go. Now turn him loose. Yep. So that's how we're going to let him know. So, by turning him loose in this case, we're going to ask you for something you're not really sure you're comfortable with. So we're going to turn you loose, and if you go back, that's okay. Big, slow. But, do it again. Say, hey, but I'd like to, this needs, so, keep a steady feel until you, yep, there it is, there it is, there it is. Now turn him loose. Good. When you turn him loose, he's not going to pick the pace back up. Yep. Yep. Even in that case, I wouldn't cluck.
I knew you were gonna say that as soon as I started clucking. I was like, I shouldn't have done it.
Because I like to believe I'm not going to nag at him. My cluck said walk, he's walking.
Okay.
You can hug him, drive him with your seat, hug him. If you have to, then you can get verbal, but the verbal will be, but necessary to not blend lines. Yep, change direction. So he's really fussing again. Yep, yep, yep. Leave him alone. Can. Yeah, he didn't understand any legs yet.
Yeah.
I
keep, like, I go to do the leg and I'm like, you don't get it, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and if anything, it'll put a little anxiety in him.
Okay.
Make sure that we keep this nice, I'm happy his head's like that, and even if he's chomping on the bit, that's fine. It's when he's trying to, yep, just let your seat, yep. Now, since you're past, go ahead and, good. So now, if you want to challenge yourself, we're going to go ahead and ask for that job, but we're only going to, the most strides before you walk. So, walking is really what we want to do. So, ask for the trot. So we want it to be a little bit different. We're going to give him a different cue so he knows it's a different gait. So you can click twice, but at least so that we're always on the same page. It's once for walk, twice for trot.
Okay.
This way, when he hears it in that rhythm, he knows which one he's never going to wonder. Scared of it.
Okay.
So you're going to first feet, your hand, then you're going to gently hug. So yours just went. Don't change. So that's it. Rain will downward transition. Good, and then leave him alone. He needs to learn that he's being asked for it and that he's not just kind of doing it by accident. So this is why we're doing the transition specifically. And allowing him to establish the gait and then breaking him back down will help him know that he did it right.
Okay.
Go ahead and see if you can challenge him by asking him to trot past that gate there. First in your body, first in your hands before the noise. Don't make that your go-to. Good. Drain, down, transition to good. For the most part, he's starting to believe you're going to stay out of his mouth. As much as I can, so when I am in their mouth, they go, yes, ma'am. I can teach a horse to put his head in without holding his head in the frame. So you can actually just tell them to do it. And it's pretty, and yet we're not all up in their mouth. So when I do need to be in his mouth, he can say, what do you want? And he's too young and under muscled to be all framed up anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. You're right.
We don't realize how painful that actually is to frame up a horse for a long period of time. It's very painful to their neck. It's something you should do for 5 minutes, but I wouldn't even do it with him for 5 minutes. Yep. 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 Good. Turn back again. Do it again. And just be careful that you don't have an instinct to drive him with your legs. Just say, I need you to keep going, need you to keep going. My body says go. There. Go back again. We want to tempt him, but then we want to for not taking our tempt. Yep. And now just ride. Trust that he's going to pass. Now tell him, I think you better. It's all right. He wants to smack his leg into stuff. Let him smack his leg. He'll learn. Electric fence effect. You know, you do it to yourself. It's not my problem.
That's true.
Yep. If he goes past nice, so I would keep doing that until he goes past nice in this direction, because he's having a hard time in this direction. He seems to think if he gets his nose hooked around that door, he'll get in there. Yep. I wouldn't even call that nice. Yep. He tried. Yep. So this direction, he's got a little hesitation, but I'm not going to be mad about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and change directions again, and now let's see if we've got it to go past. He may still say, at the last minute, he goes, oh, I just really want to look in there one more time. He's got it in his eye that he's going to do that, but just focus ahead, focus ahead, focus ahead. There you go. Now keep going. Yeah, he'll like you better for scratches.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, he seems to be able to relax a little
And his ears came forward. Sometimes when they get that, just everything tension out of their body. See, his head tension came completely up.
Yeah.
You know, as it starts to come back up, we're going to just give him other stuff to do. But so go ahead. We're going to do those trot transitions again. First in your body, then your noise, then your leg. Once he's trotting, you're just going to settle in and leave him alone. But don't quit trying. Even if you have to steer him around, it doesn't matter. Don't quit trying. Once you commit to it, it's like committing to pulling out at a stop sign. Break him down to the walk, even if he's right there. Go. See, this is different from saying go, don't go. This is go because I asked, come back down to the walk because I asked. Go ahead and trot. All in your body first, then your noise, then your legs. Good. Back down to the walk. Good. And then the trick is just to make sure that every you're happy with, you're alone.
Yeah. Do I leave him alone enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Just letting you know that, like, that's the so important part of helping them be successful. Yep. Say, I'm happy to let you look, but it's going to be at my command. And I hate using words like that because it's not like a dictatorship, but you know, I'll let you do that, but you're going to do it at my guidance. That's a better way to put it. Yep. Right ahead. There you go. So especially when you notice that he needs that from you, be generous. It doesn't necessarily mean scratch him for half the arena. It just means anytime you really think he deserves it, be generous. Don't be stingy. here's something, so just always pay attention. What he may decide is scary that I haven't allowed to be scary yet, because the tractor might even be coming in. So make a decision now to stay facing there, especially if the tractor is coming in. We don't want the scary thing to be at his tail. We don't want the scary thing to be at his tail. If the tractor's something that would be behind him, always keep them. You can zigzag, 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 zigzag. Sees what he needs to see, but never let it get. They get it at their tail, and those are rides aren't fun to take. Those are like riding Harley the first time. The video, I'm like, the video doesn't show him going nearly as fast as he was going. I'm like, there's no way. He was like, he was a train wreck as far as I was concerned. Yeah, oh, he was. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, luckily we're through that part. Now it's just a matter of reintroducing the bigger space. And then after we've introduced this space, then we'll try the big arena. And then it's going to be a while before you want to be out in open ground. But we'll get him into bigger spaces, or we'll take him into a bigger or something. No, I'm going to be galloping in Minnewaska. No. Not tomorrow, anyway. Know that he would stop. No, yeah, he actually in May I had to let it go, and then he got up like that, and that shoulder came. If you watch, I actually broke him down, and then he got like this, and I had to let him. I had to get him again. So he was completely out of control. But I had both hands on one. We can see if we can't do a transition in the. So find a job that you're happy with, and if we find a job you're happy with, we're going to jog. Then we're going to go ahead for a working truck. We can get a job, and we're going to ask him to pick up a job, and then we're going to make our left rein until it's where we want it, and then we're going to turn him loose and see if he holds that jog. If he holds that jog, then we're going to tell him, yep, that's your cruise control. His way, and jogs for him. Good. Yep. And then just ride it. Just ride it. Yep, you can change directions if he starts doing that even at the trot.
Okay.
Yep, and a single kiss would tell him if you can catch before he breaks. A single kiss would say, I suggest you keep going. Yes, or it means, but if you get back down to the walk, it's 2 kisses to get back up.
Okay. Sorry.
Good. Yep, left rein until you get a nice jog. And then you want to turn him loose as soon as you have that jog. There, leave him alone. Yep, that's real nice. Leave him alone. Just ride nice. Nice. Okay, ask him to walk. Because we want to let him know that's all we wanted. Yep. So, fire this with speed. So, look for a relaxed walk before we ask for that jogging. wanted this.
Okay.
We want to make sure that we always take the assumptions out of them. So you have a slower walk if you wanted to even say, yeah, but why don't we go even a little bit slower? This way you could say, remember this? There. Challenge yourself if you want. Ask for the trot past that gate. Just be prepared for him to tuck his nose in there and come to a screeching halt. Excellent. Now, find your, definitely a trot. Find your jog. Yep, leave him alone. Find your jog again. Yep. Find your jog again. Yep, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Oh, that's okay. It's okay. Don't make. Yep. Yep. There, leave him alone. Yep, find your jog again. Good. It's his job to know where his feet are. Up. Yep. Go ahead and bring it back down to that real low jog. That's kind of a trot. There you go. Leave it alone. Bother him again because it got fast again. Yep, leave him alone. Bother him again. Anytime you feel it change, you want to bother him. Try not to cut through the gate unless you absolutely have to. Nice jog right there. That's perfect. Ask him to walk. That's your reward. So he said, oh, so now you should have some of a muscle memory about what that felt like. You know his capabilities. What the horse can do, it's like I call it, they show you their, that's how, now it's nothing less. Okay. So let him walk a minute, just so he's rewarded for that. The longer we let him soak on something we really like, the more it soaks in. In fact, go ahead and change directions, give him a different eye, and also we'll get the jog in the other direction. And I would be fine if we only get the jog in the other direction and then we call it quits for him, because that was beautiful.
That was really good.
So I would love to get. Yep, always give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Always. Because they might surprise you. Which he did. Yeah, because that's where he's been wanting to hook his head in the final spot of that door, so. Those stirrups are probably now. I don't know when Kelsey's coming home, but if you guys just remember what your numbers are. But those are probably. And then you can work on the exact same things, unless you want to hop on and try it to make sure that you're comfortable doing it. But we'll have him do this direction, and then we can change back to the direction that he did it really well, unless he does it fantastic this direction too. And then you can hop back up. We'll get your muscle memory on what he's capable of. Okay, go ahead and ask for that jog. It's a nice walk to come out of, so it's great. Yep. The left rein was a little bit. Yep. You're looking for that jog. As soon as you get that jog, you're going to leave him alone. There, leave him alone. Good. Ask for it again, even past the gate. Good, yep, that's okay. We kind of knew that was going to happen, but I just wanted to. Yep, but don't stop trotting. We got to trot. Yep. Otherwise, he made a decision.
Okay.
We don't want him to make that decision. Find that jog. Just the left rein straight. Left rein. See? New eye, new horse. Yep. Yep. Now just ride straight through that. Ride. Good. Up. I win the clock, but right there.
Good.
Yep. Get on him a little bit there. Still more until he's got slow. Make him, you want him to walk. He's arguing a little bit. There. Perfect. Yeah, that was a trip. So one thing, you try to keep your ears open for the noises you make, because you make them more than we need them.
Yeah.
Yep. We already get him to respond, so we're going ahead and get him to stop fussing. Yep. So he should have been trotting.
Already.
Yep. But he should never have at all, so we're not going to collect him to walk. Back to fuss him quite a bit. Change direction. Yep. Keep riding him. We're still looking for the jog, though. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Let him know there is something in it for him. Change directions. Yep, do it quick. We'll run it. Stuff. As soon as you can leave him alone, we're going to be able to offer him the deal. It's like, dude, seriously, if you stop arguing with me, there's something in this for you. There. Now go ahead and scratch him, too. Good time. No, see if you, like, ask for the dog as soon as it settles. Yep. As soon as he stops fussing with that bit, we're going to go ahead and let him walk. Nice. Let him walk right there. Because even though it was gait related, we're going to still...
Did you say let him walk right there?
Yeah, yep. It was gait related, but we're still going to take it. Now remember, he's a baby, so you didn't know you didn't say stop, okay? Yeah, so make sure that you don't get after him when he makes...
So what is stop? What are we saying?
Hope. Don't move your feet, so whatever it takes to get him to stop moving.
Okay. How is like word stopping?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll work on easy, which is kind of what we're doing. We're just not using the word easy, which great. I didn't want to give him word at the same time.
Okay. I was wondering why we're not using that's what I usually use too. So.
Yeah, we'll use easy for the transitions within the gate, but in the same sentence, make sure that we introduce one thing at a time.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna have May get back on him, and she'll do the walking out part right here, and then we'll get you feeling what he feels like at a jog. Let me hold the shirt. Okay, so, yeah. You're a good guy. Yes, you. Okay, now ask him to go. So now what you would do in that case is just steer him off balance. So just steer him left or right, and that'll tell him to free up his feet. So steer him off balance. Literally steer him that way. Yep, yep. Give him all the same body angle. It's okay. Yep, good. And then leave him alone. Every opportunity we have to leave him alone, we're going to leave him alone. That there's really something in it for him. So since he was better in the other direction, yeah.
To the right, tracking right, yeah.
So since yeah.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah. Maybe he thinks he sees something that, like, well, we're acknowledging that he's been having, well, he's doing more straight than turning. Better behaved going the other direction. So we'll let you give this direction a whirl to see, yep. So a little arc there, but let's his mouth. Yeah. You can keep them apart, but I often run my hands on their shoulder, like on their outside shoulders. Yeah.
I was noticing that was how Lisa. She's almost like this.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not. Some of hers are. Yeah. Some of hers are habit more than they are training. I would just say that just happens to be how she rides more than she knows what she's doing as far like more than she recognizes that that's a training tool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and ask for the jog. It's going to be the exact same body, but it's going to be now a double noise. And then if that doesn't bring him up, you're going to do the double noise again, and then you're going to support with your legs. So always give him two chances. The noise before the third thing is now your legs gently, a very gentle squeeze. Yep, imagine that you're just giving him a really nice bear hug. And now leave him alone. Try to see if you can lower your hands a little bit and come down a little. Good, lift that left rein up. Ask him to walk. We're going to need that walk. Good, leave him alone. Leave him alone. So that trot was a little fast. However, your hands were a little up and down to where I was a little afraid to ask you to try to communicate to him slow down where you wouldn't be just kind of banging him. So I didn't want you to bang him.
Yeah, I think that's something I need to work on. The hand's not bouncing.
Yeah, so soften your elbows.
Bouncy work for something I don't know.
Well, your balance point has a lot to do with it. So if you're sitting in your pockets the right way, you'll actually feel like you're on one of those riding chairs. Your hands won't bounce. Soften your elbows. If your elbows are stiff, your hands are going to bounce with your body. But if you soften your elbows, yeah. What's that? Okay, same thing. Cue him up to a trot. Hopefully, a nice little jog. He's having a decent jog in this direction, but he's a little faster. But I didn't want to. Yep. Good. Now leave him alone. Soften your elbows. See if your hands get quieter. There you go. Soften your elbows. Lower your hands. It's okay. You're getting a great jog out of him. Now ask for the walk. Sit deep on your pockets. Lift your left rein. Lift your left. Sit deep. Lift your left rein. Alone. Ride ahead, ride ahead, ride ahead, ride ahead. You're right ahead, keep riding. He's gonna still try to visit. Yep, good.
I have to go.
Okay.
But thank you.
Yeah.
You want to write? What's the plan for the year?
Whatever days, if we could get at least 2 days on him during the week. If 3, we're just doing walk trots, we can do 3, no problem. And then we'll get this week through with the trot and doing transitions within each gait.
Okay.
And then next week we'll introduce the canter.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Cool. Have fun.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.
Thank you. He's going to poop, so he may say, I'd like to stop to do that. Yep, you can go ahead and ask for it, especially trying to pass. Good. Leave him alone. Yep, very nice. Ask him to walk. Let him reward for that. That's a beautiful jog. I would almost say, I don't know how much more you want to ride, but I would almost say, wow. Okay. So for me, what I do is I don't walk them out on their back. I don't ask them to carry me while they cool down. So I always unsaddle them when I walk them in hand. Good job. Yes, you did. I know. Communicate something. It was almost more rudely, because it was enough. So we had to get like a where his your riding is much softer. But we weren't getting the jog in this direction, and you got the jog across. And horses, they want, happy to take care of you as well. Where he might have hand trainer on my back. Pick up on that differently. We're having kind of, but the softness is important. That it just, there was the best way to put it is there was more intolerance on that end, meaning he was being told you're bad before he even knows what it is to be bad about it. So that would be where I would say we would, you pay attention to how much noise you're making. Fortunately, you keep correcting him and he doesn't know what he's being corrected for. We gotta remember, hey, that's our job. Hey, him, not make him wrong. Right. So I don't want to catch it. You did a good job. Not more. Good job. Scratch him. Good you know, a little kid, you hand your horse to a little kid, next thing you know, they're not gonna keep stepping them on, you know, or the bigger picture. So, yeah, that'll often, and we'll give him a little walk out. Even though he didn't, he's sweating, it was a mental. Well, I mean, he definitely worked, you know.
Yeah, I guess for a 5-year-old.
Nice, and then, so that, right,
Yeah.
no real, means, you know, a couple little dry